Hello, this is Idodmg and welcome back to the channel. Maybe you missed the Diablo 4 developer stream today and didn't want to watch the whole hour, and maybe you're looking for a summary. In that case, I got you covered. I'm looking forward to saving your time. Let's go ahead and talk Diablo 4 beta content, beta incentives, what all transfers from the beta, and more. The early access for Diablo 4 will be for people that have pre-ordered the game. It will be held March 17th starting at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and will end on March 20th at 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time. The next weekend will be the open beta, and this will be for anyone. This is from March 24th, the same times, through March 27th. Keep in mind you can preload the beta 1 week ahead of time. Here's what you can expect to find during the beta. The early access weekend, which is the first weekend, there's only access to 3 classes, the Barbarian, Rogue, and Sorceress. The next weekend after that, though, the open beta, they will have access to all 5 classes, Barbarian, Rogue, Sorceress, Necro, and Druid. There's also going to be one world boss available that will spawn 4 different times each of the Saturdays. It is that same world boss that they showed off at BlizzCon. You're not going to need any groups for this. It's an open world boss. All you got to do is show up to the event. One thing they did not mention during the dev stream, but I did read about this later on their blog that I'll have linked down below, is if you're playing near other players, you will get a 5% XP bonus, but if you're in a group, you'll get 10% more XP. The last thing I talked about with the beta is that it is available on consoles as well. They have a couple beta incentives and things for you to work towards during the 2 weekends. There's 2 titles you can unlock. One is just from playing through and you have to get to a specific zone. Sounds very straightforward. Another title you can get from hitting level 20 with any of the classes. You just got to hit level 20 with at least one of them during the beta. And the last incentive is a cosmetic wolf pack that you can unlock. Again, this is by hitting level 20 with at least one of the classes. The rewards that you earn from these beta incentives will carry over into the launch of the game. During the 2 beta weekends, the early access beta and the open beta, the progress will carry over between those 2 betas. However, all of the beta progress will be wiped before the game launches in June. During the dev stream, they also talked about armor. They talked about this for quite some time, but I got a real simple summary for you. They showed charts and they went really in depth with it. But basically the takeaway here is they are trying to make resistances and armor prominent again, as you see in other action RPGs. They showed charts. The res cap is 85%. They pretty much don't want people to just forget about armor and resistances. There's going to be different bosses. They talked about a shadow boss that you're going to want shadow resistance gear for. Otherwise it will one-shot you. So again, overall, they're trying to make resistances and armor relevant again in Diablo 4. They also talked about strongholds. Strongholds are a side activity you can do while you're exploring the world. There's many in each map that you can discover. The first time that you clear a stronghold, it will be solo or just the people in your party. They're calling this a private instance. I'll talk a little bit more about this later when we get to the Q&A section. Pretty much this is not a public zone, but again, it is you and your party, and it is a story-driven experience for the first time you cleared it. Once you clear a stronghold, it will become a public place that you can farm renown and possibly target farming unique items. They did say you can find unique items in these strongholds. I don't know if they mean just from clearing it for the first time or if perhaps you can actually use them to target farm in some way. Strongholds will also unlock different vendors. They said some might become a new town that you can go to, waypoints, and other things like your codex, things like that. They talked about a couple different things regarding tech. They mentioned that ray tracing will come after launch. Ultra-wide will be supported at launch. However, the super ultra-wide will have bars on the sides. But if you have an ultra-wide monitor, you will be able to see more of the screen than people that do not have the ultra-wide monitor. Also, if you're playing on PC, there will be controller support at launch. Before they did the pie in the face, which was pretty great, so make sure you do watch at least the end of the video for that. It's pretty funny. They did talk about Q&A. These are questions from the community, and they gave out some answers to those questions. I think you know what a Q&A is. Of course, the #1 question was, when will we know more about endgame and progression? And they said that they do plan to have a dev stream covering all of the endgame and all of that after the beta weekends. Another question was, how many people will you see in the world of Diablo 4? Because remember, this is a shared world action RPG. They said that they want Diablo 4 to feel like a Diablo game where it is a little bit desolate and you don't just have loads of heroes running around. They want it to still have that feel. And the way that they're going to do this is pretty interesting. So the strongholds we talked about, remember the first time that you do those will be solo or just your party. And then once you clear it one time, it will become a public space. A public space, they did not give a specific number of how many players will be in there. But if I had to guess, maybe a dozen in one like public zone or something like that. I don't know, again, just a guess. However, they did mention that the world events and world bosses will have more players to take those down. And the boss is going to be so big that the camera will actually zoom out more so you can see the entire battlefield. However, the areas that you're going to see the most other players running around is within towns where you can form parties and all that good stuff. Another question that was asked is if Diablo 4 will have seasons, and they said yes. More information will come out closer to the launch of Diablo 4. Another question was asked about trading, and this is always a hot topic, as we just saw with the last Epoch update. They are wanting Diablo 4 to be less restrictive in terms of their trading than Diablo 3 was. However, they didn't give any more details than that. In my opinion, though, just take last Epoch's idea and make it even better and have that for your trading system. That's just my opinion, though. That's going to wrap it up for the February dev stream summary. If the video was too long you didn't watch, hopefully I provided you with all the information. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below if you think maybe I missed something. Pretty sure we covered everything though. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.